build a little log thing like this, and this is going to be sized to where your bait's going to be here, and your bear is going to have like it's just far enough to where your bear's back will be right here. It's not climbing all the way in this little triangle. And then you're building, you know, you put a log like this, and then another one like this. Usually it's easier if you've like built it next to a tree or something like that. Another one like this, so you're going all the way, and another log like this. Another, you know, so you're building this all up. This is the open front end, and then you have a log on the ground here because that's what the bear's gonna get smashed against. You know, you figure this out so these aren't hanging out past this log, and then this is gonna be on top of that log. The other thing when you're finding where you're gonna build this, you have a tree, like right here, a small tree, doesn't have to be big. And what this is gonna be is your little fulcrum point for your trap trigger. So then you're gonna put a log right here, and then I'll show you how the trap trigger works. But basically the idea is then what you're gonna build is like kind of a rail, so you can like put a stick here because you have this wall here, and then a stick here, and you might tie it so that it's like this isn't just falling wherever, so it's falling down a rail of logs or whatever. And then same back here, make sure it's together. And then, you know, you can't carry enough weight to smash a bear, but once you put up this log, then you can add another one here, and then like another one there, and then one here, and one here, you know, and then you're just adding weight until it's like an insane amount of weight. But you also can't set the trap when there's that much weight. So this log actually doesn't have to be hugely heavy. It's just then what they do on this end is sometimes if you have a little tree here, you know, you're planning ahead, that can be where your trigger locks into. Or else when you're building this, you put a log. This is what I did when I built one. Put a log like that underneath all these other logs. And then you're gonna have a stick, like a small tree that has, you know, like one of those, like a place that it's catching, and then on the same on the top. I don't get dyslexic here again. Yeah, that's right. So, you know, you're gonna have your little trigger's gonna kind of look like this. This is gonna be hooked on this log, and this is gonna be hooked on your fulcrum log. So you know you're having this like this piece of wood here is what you would then like tie your bait to, your fish. You know, you file some rotten fish in here, tie a couple of them to this, and then this is gonna be not on the ground, it's just gonna be on this, whatever so say there's a stump out of the ground and you saw into it, saw a notch that this notch lines up with, you know what I mean? So it's like a strong here, and then actually this notch would have to be on the other side here because that's where this fulcrum is. You guys following kind of?
Yeah.
And then, so that's your trigger system right here. And then, I don't know if I misspoke there, but this is where your bait is tied onto that. So they're going to start yanking on this. And when they yank on that, obviously that pulls out and your logs drop. And you know, you have it sized right, those logs drop right on his backbone and they're back.
And what do they want with this bear?
They eat them, or a lot of times bears are often like nuisances to the Evenki. You know, like they like view them as sacred, but they also, you'll have bear going over there and like, yeah, they're very mischievous, you know, tearing stuff up all the time. So sometimes you get like a problem bear and it's like, oh, we gotta take care of it. You know?
They don't do build a big ceremony and stuff for them because they're literally.
Yeah, so there was a bear that we got in the. It's interesting. They had like a whole ceremony where like, I don't remember all the details, but it was like we have to take the eyeballs out and put them under a rock so that its spirit doesn't know we were the ones that killed it, and then we're gonna take, you know, the organs and these things and float them down the river so that when the spirit comes back to look for its parts, it thinks the neighboring village down the river did it. You know, they have all this like funny stuff. And it's like it had like a whole bunch of
Send the revenge somewhere else.
Yeah, send the revenge somewhere else. Had the little
Just
thing
looking
they
out for
did.
your neighbors.
Yeah, totally.